Hey there, travel junkies! Ready to uncover some hidden gems in Amsterdam that even Google can't find? Buckle up because we're about to dive into the secret spots of this amazing city. We're going off the beaten path, folks. A path so beaten it's practically begging for a spa day and a strong cocktail. I've risked life, limb, and my dignity, what little remains, to bring you these so-called secrets. Now, when I say secret, I mean it in the loosest possible sense. Like how your Uncle Barry's toupee is a secret. Everyone knows Barry, everyone knows. But these places? They're not plastered on every billboard. No, these are the spots where you might actually encounter a real Dutch person who isn't trying to sell you a miniature windmill. Imagine that. So, prepare yourselves for a journey into the heart of Amsterdam's, well, it's slightly less obvious bits. We're talking experiences so authentic you'll feel like you've lived there for at least a week. It's going to be enlightening, possibly confusing, and definitely full of moments where I question my life choices. But hey, that's travel, right? Let's do this. Or, as they say in Dutch, laten we dit doen. Probably my Dutch is a bit rusty, and by rusty I mean non-existent. Alright, first up, the canals. I know, Amsterdam canals, groundbreaking, truly groundbreaking. You're thinking, wow, what a revelation. Next, he's going to tell me they have bicycles there. But hear me out. We're not talking about the Prinsengracht or the Keizersgracht. No, that's amateur hour. We're venturing to a canal so obscure, so tucked away, it probably doesn't even have a name, or if it does, it's something unpronounceable, like Glargenflargen Canal. This is the kind of canal where you might see an old Dutch gentleman quietly fishing. Finding this canal is an adventure in itself. You'll wander down alleyways that look like they haven't seen sunlight since the Golden Age. You'll probably get lost. I got lost. I ended up in a clog-making workshop by accident and nearly got roped into an apprenticeship. It was a close call. But the journey, my friends, the glorious, bewildering journey, is half the fun. Once you stumble upon this aquatic marvel, you'll notice the distinct lack of selfie sticks. It's a miracle. The water might be a bit murkier than the postcard canals. You won't find gondoliers serenading you here. This is where the real Amsterdam breathes, away from the polished veneer presented to the masses. You can just sit by its edge, perhaps on a slightly damp, questionable bench, and watch the world go by. Or more accurately, watch a few stray leaves and a discarded bicycle tire float by. It's meditative, it's contemplative. It makes you think, why are there so many bicycles in canals? The architecture along this hidden waterway is also different. Less grand, perhaps, but more lived in. It's the Amsterdam that doesn't necessarily pose for pictures, but is all the more beautiful for its unpretentiousness. So, when you're in Amsterdam and you've had your fill of the magnificent famous canals, I dare you to seek out one of these unsung heroes. Get lost, embrace the slight grubbiness, and discover a side of the city that's a little more reserved, a little more real. Enjoy it. Now let's talk about something truly vital. Stroopwafels. You've probably had one. Those delightful caramel-filled waffle cookies, you can buy them pre-packaged in any tourist shop. But those, my friends, are mere shadows, pale imitations of the real thing. To experience a stroopwafel in its purest, most divine form, you need to go to place. This cafe, let's call it Shea Stroop, is an institution. An institution so hidden, it makes a CIA black site look like a brightly lit, bouncy castle. Finding it requires the navigational skills of a seasoned explorer. Or you just stumble upon it after taking a wrong turn. That's how I found it. Serendipity, or perhaps my stomach has its own GPS. The aroma alone is enough to make you weep tears of pure, syrupy joy. It wafts down a tiny, unassuming alleyway. You follow it like a cartoon character floating towards a pie on a windowsill. The entrance is modest, easily overlooked. No flashy signs, no neon lights proclaiming world's best. Inside it's like stepping back in time, or into your grandmother's kitchen. It's small, intimate, probably only seats about 6 people comfortably. The air is thick with the smell of butter, cinnamon, and that magical molten caramel. You can see them making the stroopwafels right there. It's performance art, really. Delicious, edible performance art. The proprietor is usually a stern-looking but secretly warm-hearted individual. They handle the batter with a reverence usually reserved for ancient relics. They don't chat much, they don't need to. The stroopwafels speak for themselves. They speak in a language of pure, unadulterated bliss. Ordering is simple. You point, you grunt, you hand over a surprisingly small amount of money, and then, the moment of truth. They hand you a stroopwafel so fresh, it's still warm. It's not just a cookie, it's an experience. It's a warm hug for your soul. The first bite, oh that first bite. The slight crispness of the waffle giving way to the chewy, gooey, perfectly spiced caramel. It's a symphony of textures and flavors. It's the kind of taste that makes you close your eyes and hum involuntarily. People around you might stare. Let them stare. They're just jealous. You, my friend, are in stroopwafel nirvana. You have achieved peak Amsterdam, so if you're in Amsterdam and you have a craving for something truly special, seek out this hidden gem. Enjoy it. Alright, you've navigated the canals, you've mainlined enough stroopwafel caramel to hibernate for a winter. What now? How about a place so tranquil, so serene, it feels like you've stumbled into a completely different city? I'm talking about a secret garden, folks. Yes, a garden. And before you say, oh, a park, how thrilling, this isn't just any patch of green, this is an oasis, a refuge, a place where the loudest sound is probably your own internal monologue. Finding this garden is, naturally, part of its charm. It's not advertised with big, leafy signs. It's tucked away, perhaps behind an unassuming doorway in a busy street. You might need a password or a secret handshake, or maybe just the ability to look like you desperately need a moment of peace. Once you step inside, it's like the volume of the city gets turned down from an 11 to a gentle 2. The hustle and bustle, the clanging trams, the distant shouts, it all fades away. You're enveloped in a cocoon of green, a carefully curated yet wonderfully wild space. It's like Amsterdam's little Narnia. The garden itself is usually a masterpiece of understated beauty. Not a grand, formal affair with perfectly sculpted hedges and fountains. No, this is more intimate. Think winding paths, overgrown flower beds bursting with color, shady trees perfect for napping under. This is the perfect spot to escape the tourist throngs. Here, in this secret garden, you might find yourself sharing the space with only a handful of people. It's a place to recharge your batteries. You can sit, you can breathe, you can simply exist without the pressure to something. It's a rebellion against the tyranny of the itinerary. I remember finding one such garden after a particularly harrowing experience involving a crowded market. I was frayed, folks, frayed. And then I saw this little archway, almost hidden by ivy, and on a whim, I ducked inside. Suddenly, silence. Birds chirping. The gentle rustle of leaves. It was like stepping into a decompression chamber for the soul. Amsterdam has world-class museums, right? The Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, temples of high art culture and very long lines. And those are great, fantastic, you should definitely see them. But today we're not talking about those. We're veering off the well-trodden cultural path into the realm of the quirky, the bizarre. These institutions celebrate the obscure, the niche, the things you never knew you needed to know about. Finding them can be a bit like a treasure hunt. Their advertising budget is probably less than my weekly coffee expenditure. One such museum I stumbled upon was dedicated to the history of the button. Yes, the button. Not the push here for world peace kind, but the humble clothing fastener. And let me tell you, it was an eye-opener. I saw buttons from Roman times, buttons worn by royalty, buttons made of materials I didn't even know could be buttons. Or at least mildly expanded in a button-related direction. The beauty of these quirky museums is their sheer, unadulterated passion for their subject matter. The curators genuinely love what they're showcasing. They're not just punching a clock, they're sharing their life's obsession with you. You'll wander through rooms filled with exhibits that make you chuckle, scratch your head, and occasionally question the very nature of what constitutes a museum-worthy artifact. Is that really a collection of celebrity dental floss, you might ask? And the answer will be a resounding, proud yes. It's a journey into the delightful absurd, a celebration of the wonderfully weird. These places are rarely crowded. You won't be elbowing your way through throngs of people. No, here you can take your time. You can read every single painstakingly typed out label. You can truly immerse yourself in the world of, say, antique pencil sharpeners. Your friends will be so impressed at your next dinner party, or deeply concerned. These museums are a testament to the fact that anything, absolutely anything, can be interesting if you look at it closely enough. They remind you that history isn't just about grand battles and famous artists, it's also about the small, everyday objects. So when you've had your fill of Rembrandts and Vermeers, give your synapses a little jolt by seeking out one of Amsterdam's quirkier cultural offerings. You'll leave with a smile on your face, a story to tell, and possibly a profound new understanding of something you never even knew existed an hour before. Alright, we've delved into obscure canals, gorged on secret stroopwafels, found solace in hidden gardens, and expanded our minds with quirky museums. What's left? Only the grand finale, the piece de resistance, the moment where Amsterdam lays all its beauty at your feet. I'm talking about a hidden viewpoint, my friends, a place to witness a sunset so spectacular it'll make your eyeballs sing. Now, Amsterdam isn't exactly known for its towering skyscrapers offering panoramic vistas. It's a city that's more horizontally charming than vertically imposing. So, finding a truly great unobstructed viewpoint that isn't already crawling with tourists can be a bit of a challenge. But they exist, these secret perches, these quiet spots where you can watch the sky do its magical, colorful thing in relative peace. This isn't about climbing some famous church tower after waiting in line for an hour. No, this is more subtle. It might be the top floor of an unassuming public building that most people don't realize has rooftop access. It could be a quiet bridge in a less trafficked neighborhood. The journey to this viewpoint is often part of the reward. It might involve navigating a labyrinth of residential streets. I once found a spot that required shimmying past some bins and hoping a grumpy cat wouldn't object. Worth it. When you finally arrive and the city unfolds before you as the sun begins its descent, it's a moment of pure magic. The canals turn into ribbons of molten gold, the sky blazes with hues of orange, pink, and purple. It's the kind of view that makes you forget about your sore feet. The best part? The relative solitude. You might share it with a few in-the-know locals. There's a quiet camaraderie in these hidden spots. You can actually hear the city settling down for the evening. I remember one such evening perched on a surprisingly comfortable ledge overlooking the western part of the city. The sky was putting on a show that would make a Hollywood special effects artist weep with envy. There was a gentle breeze, the distant sound of a saxophone playing somewhere, and for a moment, everything felt perfect. These viewpoints aren't just about the pretty colors, though. They offer a different perspective on the city. You see the patterns, the way the canals weave through the urban fabric. So, as your day in Amsterdam winds down, instead of heading to the most obvious crowded spot to watch the sunset, do a little research. Look for those unassuming places that might just offer a glimpse of something extraordinary, and when you find it, that perfect quiet spot, take a moment, enjoy the view. So there you have it, folks. 5 secret spots in Amsterdam that you won't find on Google. Next time you're in the city, skip the tourist traps and check out these hidden gems. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel tips and sarcastic adventures. We've navigated the murky waters of not-so-secret canals, indulged in artery-cloggingly delicious stroopwafels, found zen in gardens that may or may not have been private property, and pondered the meaning of life in museums dedicated to buttons. It's been a ride. Hopefully these little discoveries will inspire you to look beyond the obvious next time you're wandering the charming and occasionally bewildering streets of Amsterdam. Remember, the best travel stories often come from the detours, the wrong turns, the places you stumble upon when you're looking for something else entirely. Or when you're desperately trying to find a public restroom, which, as we've learned, can lead to profound cultural experiences involving button history. You just never know. So go forth, intrepid explorers, seek out your own hidden gems, annoy locals with your terrible attempts at Dutch, eat questionable street food, and if you happen to find an even more secret stroopwafel place, for the love of all that is holy, send me the coordinates. My work here is done, but my appetite for adventure and caramel is eternal. Until next time, keep those passports handy, and your sense of humor even handier. You'll need it, trust me.